What's going on, people? It's the Bear here once again. And, you know, I there was something I wanted to talk about. And at first, I wasn't going to make a video of it because, the last video I did is pretty much summed up, you know, about Kent and how he's feeling and things like that. And I wasn't going to make a video because I figured maybe, the people got the message and people understood what I was basically saying and how they feel and stuff like that. But the one thing that kept coming up about his last video was the true force loneliness. And I didn't understand what that was at first. I really didn't understand. I wasn't going to make a video. Because I thought I just summed up everything on my last video and stuff like that and what Ken need to do. Ken say he not taking no advice. He's boycotting women, and he need to explain to his women subscribers and people like that, what is he talking about and stuff like that, he was basically saying how, he just going to do his own thing and, he's not going to worry about women anymore. He's going to go in his career or whatever the case may be. I think he might be trying to do this acting thing and trying to have a rejection video or a rejection movie, I mean. And if that happens, good luck to you, kid. That's all I'm going to say about it. But the one thing that kept coming up over and over in his I'm Finished video is true force loneliness. I never even knew what true force loneliness, nor did I know about MGTOW, men going their own way. I didn't know about that neither until I looked that up and found out, what MGTOW mean, and that's what it means, men going their own way, and then true force loneliness. I'm trying to see what's the difference between the two, but now in this Urban Dictionary, I understand what true force loneliness mean and the difference between men going their own way and true force loneliness. They're kind of the same, but they're a little bit different. They're kind of the same. So let me just read about this here. So here we go. Okay, a term and a movement that was started by a man named Bill Greathouse. He had a YouTube name, Bill1224602, that basically described people that are forced to be alone because they perceive other women or men in some cases to be rejecting them because they are too shallow. They seem to think that they are entitled to have a woman or a man, just like Elliot Rodgers. I said that a bunch of times. You heard me say that name a bunch of times in my previous videos, Kent's rejection videos. Also, those people, like pussy whipped males, don't have any skills or game and don't understand the opposite sex. They rip on dating and pick up gurus like David D'Angelo and Mystery and Carlos Zuma, but they are too ignorant to see that those people have helped guys understand women better. And then they're saying here, this is from one of Steve Hokel's videos. He was a member of True Force Loneliness movement until the summer of '08, when he apparently decided to leave it and go out more. I don't think that worked out too well for him. In one of his videos, he said something about how guys that are getting good grades in school and are smart are having trouble attracting a woman. He might as well just say, I don't get it, and be done with it. There was a movement, and this been true force loneliness is actually as real as it gets. There's a movement of true force loneliness. These are people who, just like it says here, also these people like pussy whipped males don't have any game or any skills or game and don't understand the opposite sex. You know what I'm saying? And, there was a guy on here, Steve Hawkles. He was a member and he left because he decided to go out more and stuff like that. True Force Loneliness, I guess it's just some group that just basically just denies women, and they just say that women they become a distraction in their life. You know, they take themselves out of the social world and they become like a subculture, culture cult, of society. You know what I'm saying? They become subculture people. So they take themselves out of being social and they basically just hate on women. And they just talk about, it's like the Ku Klux Klan. When they get together and stuff, they just have their little thing and they just talk about all these different races and whatnot. And that's what it is. They are a subculture. True Force Loneliness movement is a subculture part of society, just like the KKK. Subculture. They take themselves out of society. And when you do that, you basically become antisocial. You don't want to have to deal with any other people that are part of society that do socialize and stuff like that. Like, for instance, if you see a couple that's happy, if they're on a beach and they're looking at a sunset and stuff like that, you would hate that because that didn't happen to you. You would hate that. Matter of fact, you would get so irate about it, you would want to interrupt that just to see other people unhappy. Because misery loves company. That's what that basically becomes. And it's True Force Loneliness. You don't want to see people happy because you're miserable. So you want to see many people as miserable as much as you. You don't socialize with people. You don't go out. You don't have drinks and stuff like that. That's not your thing. People, not only women, becomes a distraction. And you don't want to have distractions in your life. That's what you tell yourself. You know what I'm saying? And, I guess your security goes up. I guess you become more secure about yourself. You know what I'm saying? But, True Force Loneliness movement, these kind of people that were actually, like I said here, pussy whipped, what they do is they boost their morale by bringing other people down. They boost it. It's like a bully. It's like basically being a bully. You boost yourself up by lowering somebody else's standards, by putting somebody else down. You know what I'm saying? By making someone else insecure. You boost yourself up. That's how it goes with people like that, And, I guess these are kind of people that was, they had a woman always telling them what to do and stuff like that. And they're just tired of being what it seems like to me is being controlled all the time. And they want to have their own voice. They want to have their own say-so in life. So, they put women aside totally. They're being forced. They are forced to be alone because they don't want to do anything with women at all. And I'm like this, man. You don't have to force yourself to be alone, And I know some people will say, well, I tried everything I possibly could in order to get a woman and the woman still reject me. There's other ways, man. There are other ways. I mean, you don't really have to lower your standards in order to get a woman in your life. You don't have to do that, But there's different places you can go to find women. You know, you you have to build your confidence up. You know, there's just ways of doing things. You never have to force yourself to be alone. I've been single for years. I'm not forcing myself to be alone. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say something corny like I just haven't found the right woman yet, but it doesn't bother me like it used to. Me being single used to bother me a lot. Now it don't bother me as much anymore. You know? It don't bother me. I still I still love women. You know? If you have a good heart and stuff like that, if you're a true, genuine person, you know, there's somebody for everybody. There's more women in this country than there are men. So there's somebody for everybody. You know? But it's like looking in a haystack in a whole warehouse of a haystack. You know, it's like looking for a haystack in the whole warehouse. That is the toughest part of trying to find somebody. You know what I'm saying? Is looking, you know, but you got to be out there to look. You know, you can't sit around and wait for somebody to come. You have to look and see, you know, what's out there. But these true forced loneliness men, they don't care anymore. They don't want to look. They are done. They are tired of it. And most of them turn, you know, a lot of men turn gay. Just like a lot of women. They get tired of this and that from the previous relationships that they had with a man, and they are tired and they don't want to do it anymore. So what they do is they turn lesbian. They look to other women. That's what happens with the true force loneliness movement. You start to like the same sex because you can't get with your opposite sex. So you start to get into the same sex. That's what happens. That's the whole true force loneliness movement is basically about. You know, a man saying I can't be with a woman, so I'm going to be with a man. Women, I can't be with a man, so I'm going to be with a woman. That's the whole true force. I'm not into that. Never will I be, you know, not even thinking of it. Because that's not me. I love women to death. I love women. I haven't found one yet, but, you know, I think it's a time and place for everybody, you know? But I believe you can't just sit around and wait for someone to come in your life. You know what I'm saying? You just can't wait around. If this bothers you really bad, there are ways to going out and doing things and trying to find that person for you. But saying that I'm going to force myself to be alone for the rest of my life, I'm going to force myself to be antisocial, I'm going to force myself to be a social degenerate, I'm going to force myself not to go to clubs, I'm going to force myself not to, I'm going to force myself to not to do this and force myself not to. You become a subculture part of society. And you become alone for the rest of your life. Besides your true force loneliness members and stuff like that, oh, those are my friends. Those are the people that I'm going to be with. And they don't do nothing either. So yeah, I just wanted to make a video. True force loneliness is a real thing, but it is a subculture part of society. It is a subculture part. And it is sad that there are movements like this where people are forcing themselves not to be with somebody else. But it is going on in this country. You know, so it's tough. It's one of the toughest things to deal with is being alone. Because you're going through deep, deep depression. You go through a depression so bad that you start to really hate people. To bring yourself up from depression, you start to hate people. You start to hate women. You know what I'm saying? So that you can feel better about yourself. You start to hate the opposite sex. That is bad. Because it makes you you become the shallow person. You know what I'm saying? You become the bitter person. You become the angry person. You know? Because you say women are shallow, women are angry, women are this, women. You become that person by hating the other person. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I won't be a true part of true porous loneliness. I think it's like I said, there are more women in this country than men. So that means there are someone for everyone. It's just some kind of way you have to go out there and you have to look. If it bothers you that bad, you have to go out there and you have to look. You know? Don't be a part of that subculture part of society. Do what makes you feel good. You know what I'm saying? But don't become a social degenerate. You know? And true forced loneliness are social degenerates because they're forcing themselves not to be with somebody. That's the reason why. But it's just one man's opinion. That's all I'm saying. This is the Bear and I'm out. Peace.